Hey guys, this is Eric, otherwise known as Big E from Big E's Car Garage. Before we go any further, I just want to encourage you to hit that like and subscribe button so you can keep up with me and what's going on with my car and all these how-tos I'm going to be bringing to you. So first today I want to just give you a little overview of my 2003 Mustang GT. This car, when I bought it, it had some of the things done to it that I wanted, but overall I wanted a project car, something I could build and put my name on it and just, turn it into something that says me. So this is a 2003 Mustang GT. It's a 4.6 liter 2-valve V8. I've added a Vortex supercharger to this car. We have a 78mm BBK throttle body. It's got the X-pipe exhaust. I've added MSD coils. It's been tuned by HPP Racing in Garland, Texas. We've also added the SVE drag race wheels along with the Mickey Thompson tires. Also, I've upgraded the fuel pump and added a fuel pump booster on this car as well. Right now, as it sits, the car makes about 400 horsepower to the rear wheels, which is good and a safe amount for this engine. I would like to go up and add maybe a 50 shot of nitrous to get me to 450. But then again, the ballpark that I'm in is going to be safe for the car for longevity. But of course, as I move towards wanting to replace this motor and swap it out, I won't be so worried about if the engine blows because I plan on swapping it anyway. And that'll be something going forward that we'll talk about, whether I want to go to a Coyote swap or rebuild a 4.6 liter 2-valve with a stronger bottom end so I can still use my Vortex supercharger, but overall make a lot more power. So I won't bore you much. We're going to go ahead and jump into some features on the car, and we'll start with the inside. Okay guys, as we move to the inside of the car, again, the guy I bought this car from originally took great care of it. He kept it in the garage, so it was garage kept and well maintained. As you can see, the car is still pretty much stock on the inside. I have added the odometer gauges. We've got a trans temp sensor gauge, an air fuel ratio gauge, and a voltage gauge. And this last weekend I just got finished adding my boost gauge. So that's pretty cool, and now I can keep check on my boost. As far as the radio, I do have an AM/FM Kenwood radio. It's a CD player, just something pretty basic. I don't really listen to the radio a lot in this car just due to it being loud, and I would prefer to listen to how the car sounds over whatever's playing on the radio. Moving on around, like I said, this seat right here, the driver's seat, when I got it, it actually had a rip in it, and the guy did give me a brand new seat cover, so I was bored one day out here in the garage and decided to go ahead and put that seat cover on, and we got that on, and like I said, it's back to looking factory and new. In the back, you can see we've got my Race Quip race helmet for the nights we go to the track. You got to be safe. As far as additions I plan on doing to the inside, I do plan on upgrading the steering wheel to a Grant 4-spoke race wheel. We'll probably end up doing the Carbo race seats along with the Carbo race harness and seat harness bar that goes in the back. So we'll go ahead and pop the hood while we're in here, and we'll start making our way around. Starting in the back here, we've got the SVE wheels. These are the black, which I think look really good on the car. We've got the Mickey Thompson drag radials. These are really good tires for the track. They're sticky and they have a lot of traction. They do okay on the street, but I wouldn't suggest on a rainy day, simply because these tires, they're a drag slick, or more like, should I say, a drag radial. So when the street is wet, you don't have as much control. As long as you stay under the speed limit, everything should be fine. But again, I don't like to drive the car in the rain, and usually I don't. I can only think of one instance this car has been driven in the rain. My brother and I were headed from the track one night, and a downpour came, and of course I live an hour and a half away from the track, so I had to drive the car home. Everything went okay. I just made sure, don't get on it hard, just drive safe and be careful and stay under the speed limit. We'll move around here to the front. As you can see, we have the skinnies up front. If we look in here closer, we've got the oversized drilled and slotted rotors. I do have my calipers painted blue, and those probably need to be taken off and touched up again. Funny story here about the hood. So I do have a 3-inch cowl hood on the car. I started out trying to wrap the hood on this car because I told myself I could and it would look good, but I also told my brother I think I could do it by myself. Well, that was a mistake. I ended up going ahead with the plastic dip because that came out a lot better. Problem I had with the wrap was once you start one wrinkle, they don't stop. It just continues to get worse. So I ended up ripping it off and doing the plastic dip. One thing too, also I did plastic dip my emblems, and those turned out really good. Also, my front pony emblem in the front has been plastic dipped. I did replace the headlights in this car not too long ago. I found some brand new ones on Amazon for probably about 70 bucks, I think. So I went ahead and replaced those. Again, this car, the factory color is a dark charcoal gray. I think you call it a dark shadow gray. So I think that gray and the black that I have accents the car real well as far as like the wheels, the hood. The nickname of my car is Darkhorse. I just think, like I say, this dark look gives it a prototype race car look. Doesn't have a lot of bright colors. It's just a dark car overall. We do need to get some more tint on these windows. Moving to the back, when I bought the car, this guy, he thought it looked better without a rear spoiler. I think it looks better with one, so I went ahead and ordered a new one and got that put on. Probably about a 30-minute process, just a matter of marking your holes accurately. You drill 4 holes and get it mounted up, no problem to it. We come on down. As far as the exhaust, you can see my tips coming off. These are 4-inch tips. We've added the carbon fiber decal lettering to the rear bumper. We'll work our way up, look at the engine compartment. Let's go ahead and get this open up. We'll talk about what's up under the hood. Okay guys, so again, this is a 4.6 liter V8. This is a 2-valve. This engine has a stage 1 cam in it. I've also added a Vortec V3 supercharger. This was a fun process. I got to hang out one Saturday with my brother and we got this put on. It took us all day. We had a good time doing it, but it was in the middle of the summer, so it was pretty hot. I think we both will agree the instructions were pretty crappy, so there was a lot on here just as far as mounting and mock-up that we had to figure out on our own. But overall, we got it done. I would suggest that you have somebody to help you with this because you're definitely going to need more than one set of hands, especially when it comes to holding this up and getting it mounted properly, as well as routing the belt and getting it on, because as you can see now, you don't just put the belt on. This belt has to be looped around, and you actually have to do the final pulley from underneath the car. And usually what I do is just go ahead and raise the car in the front and get up under it. I use one hand to take tension off the tensioner with my pry bar and the other to loop the belt over the final pulley. Also that same day we added a BBK throttle body. This is a 7.8mm throttle body to the car. That definitely woke it up. One thing guys too, this little deal right here, that is your fuel rail pressure sensor. If you ever have a P091 code, I fought that for almost 2 months not knowing what it was. They said it was that sensor. I replaced that. That didn't fix the problem. Come to find out it was the alternator. I replaced this alternator about 8 months ago. Problem solved. I haven't had the code since. So for you guys that are running into that issue and racking your brains trying to figure out what it is, go ahead and replace your alternator. That's a cheap fix and that took care of it. One thing I will do probably before it's all said and done on this supercharger, the stock pipe that comes with this is kind of tapered down, so I think that robs power. So I'll probably go ahead and add the Anderson power pipe to this to finish it out. You probably can't hardly see it, but I've got my SCT 90mm mass airflow sensor mounted over in the fender well along with the air filter. I hear a lot of guys that say, you know, driving through wet streets or in the rain, you know, they have a problem with that filter getting wet and they have issues. I usually don't have that issue because I don't drive the car in the rain, and the one time I didn't experience any issues with it. I'm all about looks too, so just to dress up the engine compartment, this fuel tank or this reservoir right here, the overflow, I'll probably go ahead and swap that out with a Moroso. It'll be the aluminum one. It probably doesn't add anything to performance other than it looks good when you open the hood. So I'm the type of person that's about looks too, so if it looks good, I'm going to do it, so count on that being replaced. Also here you can get a look at the MSD coils. So the engine compartment is pretty clean. It could probably stand the cleaning, but it'll do for now, and I think it looks okay in this video. So let's go ahead and close this up. Alright guys, that's enough about the car. I know you want to hear how this thing sounds, so I'm going to get in it, start it up for you. Alright guys, that's my 2003 Mustang GT. Again, be sure and hit that like and subscribe button. I'll be coming to you out of Big E's Car Garage. I'll be showing you all the different tips, tricks, and modifications that I do to this car, along with any repair, maintenance, and just overall, you know, anytime I take this car to the track on Friday or Saturday night, I'll be sure and try to get you guys some footage just so you can see what the performance looks like. Again, hit that like and subscribe.